How is it going, everybody? And what's good, my heroes and villains? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 231, and the title of this week's chapter is called Path.
And remember, stay on the path of evil!
It's stay away from the path of evil.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that this is someone that has gone down some type of path, whether it be heroic or villainous in this case, considering the arc that we're in, and has kind of brought them to where they are now. I don't know. I'm really curious on how that title is going to factor in to the events of this chapter. But what I do know is that our timetable has been pushed up significantly thanks to last week's chapter. Dr. Uchiko decided to give Gigantomachia an early wake-up call.
Hey! Wake the fuck up! Wake up! Wake up!
And he hopped on that radio and was like, wakey wakey, death and calamity, Machia, wake up now, the League of Villains need you, All for One's successor needs you, and my boy Dabi needs your assistance. So Machia is awake, and he's going to be making his way down to Daika City to just unleash chaos. And both sides that are currently fighting, the Liberation Army and the League of Villains, are going to be surprised for different reasons when Machia makes his debut on the battlefield. It's going to turn this battle royale into a war zone. It's going to be pure chaos, and I cannot wait to see how that unfolds a few chapters from now. But with this week's chapter, my only guess is that we're going to continue with our fight between fire and ice, between Dabi and Mr. Parka.
LOL!
And hopefully we'll dive more maybe into Spinner and Compress. I'm still hoping for some developments for those two characters. I know we're still going to get Twice just going bananas in the streets of Daika City, and maybe Shigaraki, but really that's all I can guess at this point. I am eager to dive into this chapter, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 231. And we are kicking off this chapter, starting off with Machia.
I see episode!
And the first two panels just show his nose up in the air as he's just searching for Shigaraki's scent. The unstoppable force, Gigantomachia, rushes towards the battlefield, and you see him there just halfway sticking out of the ground. He's holding the radio in his hand, Master's successor. Oh my god. And he just explodes with such force out of that hole, and he is just blitzing towards Daika City right now. He's got Shigaraki's location, he knows where the League is, and he is just launching himself with ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
My brains are going into my feet!
Look at that explosion. And he's not on top of the ground. He's barreling through the ground. Oh, when he shows up in Daika City, that's going to be a hype moment. I can't wait for that. Chapter 231, Path.
Meanwhile,
At the same time, in Osaka, yo, we got Hawks this chapter. Hawks, my boy Hawks. I was not expecting him. I'm glad we're getting him, but why are we following Hawks this chapter? Now it makes sense why people were messaging me on Twitter saying that this chapter was hype, because whenever Hawks is involved, it gets interesting.
You have no idea.
It's just about the time we agreed on, but I can't get a hold of him. Okay, so he's trying to contact Dabi, but he's not getting through. And it kind of sounds like he's unaware of where they currently are, which makes sense because Dabi was kind of keeping him at arm's length, not letting him know everything. But why does Hawks have a bag? He's got a duffel bag right behind him as he's perched on top of this building.
Schwiggity schwag, what's in the bag?
I have a very bad feeling about this.
There haven't been any sightings or incidents related to the League reported on the Hero Network either. This is a deviation from their normal pattern. Did something happen? Yeah, so he's completely unaware about what is currently happening with the Liberation Army and the League of Villains. Because there's no heroes there reporting on it, it's not showing up on the newsfeed. It's a little unsettling, and we see Hawks holding onto that duffel bag, and he just flies off of the building. But in the background, we got Best Jeanist on a giant screen in the middle of town. His sidekicks also have not been reachable since the disturbance. Best Jeanist missing.
NANI?
Best Jeanist missing? We know he hasn't been seen in the public eye since what All For One did to him. And we don't really know the extent of his injuries that he suffered, but he hasn't been seen by the public at all since Camino? But then, why aren't the sidekicks going out and giving, like, reports or updates on Best Jeanist? Like, what is the disturbance?
You gonna learn today?
I really don't know. Hawks. I was very disappointed in what happened last time. So was I. And don't even bother trying to trace this call. Okay, so Hawks is currently on the phone with Davi, but he's doing this so nonchalantly. He is sending out his feathers to do hero work as he's talking with Davi. Hawks is just awesome. I'd never do that. Take it easy, would ya? Oh boy, we got the fangirls down below freaking out. Hawks is on the phone with someone. Who do you think it is? His girlfriend? No way! OMG! And then Hawks in the background is just waving at them like, it's a secret. Oh man, that is hilarious. I just want you to trust me. Oh, sounds spicy. Hawks' dialogue does honestly sound like he's talking to a girlfriend. I'd never do that. Take it easy, would ya? I just want you to trust me.
Now that's sexual.
And then all the fangirls are just freaking out. Just like, oh man, Hawks is off the market. But honestly, it's a good cover for him because as they're freaking out, you know, speculating that Hawks has a girlfriend, he's secretly talking with Davi of the League of Villains. So he's keeping up right there. He's got the cover on lock right now. Way to go, Hawks. Hero is just my job title, nothing more. We'd be better off if they were all wiped off the face of the earth. Since I'm on the inside, I know that better than anyone. Now that piece of dialogue does not sound like he's talking with a girlfriend. You can't afford to cut me off. That's because you know full well how useful I am as a pawn. If I continue to play the fool, you'll start weighing the returns of cooperating with me higher than the risks. You want to put me to good use, don't you? That's why you keep calling. But now we have somewhere else in a phone booth. Nonetheless, we got Davi trying to act very inconspicuous, but come on. No matter the theories, that right there is a Todoroki move. He does not look incognito in the slightest.
This is me, incognito.
Oh, I love it. This is your last chance. See? What did I tell you? What do you want? In addition to your loyalty to the League of Villains, I want you to prove just how anti-establishment you really are. This time, make it someone else, not the number one.
Oh no!
It's awfully rare for you to pay me a visit. Never mind that. How are you feeling? Wait a minute.
And here we go.
What did Hawks do to Best Jeanist? Davi told him not to go after the number one hero, but did Hawks go after the number 3 hero? Did he go after Best Jeanist? Is that why he's missing? Ding, ding, ding! Hawks, what did you do? Yeah, you went to visit Best Jeanist. I've gotten a lot better. You didn't ask that granny at UA to heal you? She cannot recover that which is already lost. Surprisingly, people can still live without a lung. So he lost a lung from what All For One did to him. Wow, this really puts in perspective the amount of injuries that All Might had, and then looking and comparing it to Best Jeanist.
My respiratory system was basically destroyed, and I lost my whole stomach. All the surgeries have pretty much worn me out, and it can't be fixed.
The fact that All Might was still able to do his job as a pro hero with all of his injuries and the surgeries he went through, and you compare that to Best Jeanist, it's amazing that All Might was still able to do his job as the symbol of peace. It's impressive.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. Surprisingly, people can still live without a lung, so I'm planning on reappearing soon. There are many people just waiting to be reformed after all. Number 3 hero, Best Jeanist. Is that so?
I have you now.
Hawks, no way.
No, God!
He just took out a feather sword. That's a pity then.
No, God, please, no!
There's no way he just cut down Best Jeanist in his apartment.
No!
And we
No!
cut away from it. Really? That's what you're teasing in the duffel bag, Horikoshi?
No!
The League of Villains and their regards.
No. I mean, if anyone were to do it, I could see Hawks potentially doing it. But damn, the duffel bag, the billboard, him being missing, him in his apartment taking out the feather sword. I mean, the clues are there. I mean, Horikoshi is teasing the fact that Hawks just cut down Best Jeanist in his penthouse suite. There's no way.
A few moments later.
I'm going to say this right now. There is no way that Hawks just killed Best Jeanist. There's no way, because after rereading the Pro Hero arc recently, I know Hawks is a dedicated pro hero. He's just one of the few heroes that would be willing to sacrifice his ideals, willing to walk the path of a villain. That's where the title of this chapter comes in. Hawks is willing to go down this path because he sees the end game. He knows the long run, the long stretch that he needs to go to in order to eventually take down the League of Villains. But he didn't just stab Best Jeanist in the middle of his apartment in the penthouse suite, watch him bleed out on the floor, and then just stuff him into that duffel bag and then fly away with him. There is another plan at work here, because Hawks is just that double, triple secret agent. He is a pro hero, but he's pretending to be a villain in order to trick the League of Villains. But in order to trick them, he's actually going to have to perform villainous acts in order to gain their trust and thus kind of pretend to be a pro hero. So he's a pro hero, being a villain, doing villainous deeds, kind of pretending to be a pro hero.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
What?
There is a lot of layers to this, and this is why I find Hawks so fascinating. But there is a plan at work here. I think maybe, just maybe, he let Best Jeanist in on his secret agent work, that he's undercover trying to gain the League of Villains' trust, and then have Best Jeanist go into hiding and kind of make it seem like somehow he took him out. Things just got a whole lot more interesting, but for right now, let's just move on and we'll see how this plays out in the future chapters to come. This is crazy. That's a pity then. And then just zooming in on the duffel bag that Hawks is carrying. And you know what would be really funny? If Hawks gets stopped by fans or other pro heroes and they start asking him, hey, what's in the duffel bag? And he goes, oh, just my finest pair of best jeans. That would be terrible, but I would love if Hawks was able to joke like that. That would be amazing. When a man's on a mission, don't sell his resolve short. And then, cutting away from Hawks, we go back to the fight between Fire and Ice, Mr. Parka, Apocrypha, Giten, whoever you want to call him, going up against Dabi. And these two panels look awesome. You got the fire and the ice, raring to go. And we cut away just as quickly as we got to it. Horikoshi, stop teasing us. Like, come on. I want to learn about Dabi. I mean, the entire fandom wants to learn about Dabi.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
But it doesn't seem like now is the time. So we cut away from Dabi and Parka, and we see Spinner and Shigaraki dodging what looks like rocket launcher attacks, as well as the ice popping out of the ground. Shigaraki, are you still all there? And what about you? Do you still think we should have waited? Even if we hadn't come to this town, they'd have reported us and we'd be on the run from a whole bunch of heroes. I'm sure we were screwed either way. The hell's with this ice? Yeah, I guess you're right. Those assholes really set us up. But look, Spinner, we're almost at the tower. We're almost at the tower to rescue the damsel in distress. That is Giran.
Stand by, Stryker. We're going to the tower. Good luck. We're going to the tower.
The tower!
LOL.
The tower! Rapunzel! Rapunzel!
And there's more people around. Yeah, there is a horde of people standing between Shigaraki and the tower. But that just makes sense. If you go by video game logic, the closer and closer you get to the base, or the tower, there's going to be more and more of a cluster of people protecting said base. So they're going to have to fight through a plethora of people. And once again, we got another shocked Spinner face. Just more citizens launching their powers in their direction. They just keep coming. Ooh, Shigaraki's face right there looks menacing. But we got Twice feet coming in. We got the March of the Twice soldiers coming in to save the day. Yeah, Twice, way to go. He just dove and saved Shigaraki from that blast, though a few of the clones did take a brunt of that attack. And then some other clones did the same thing for Spinner as well. Twice is being like the MVP right now of this arc. Twice, there's so many of you. Yo, Spinner, Spinner. Yeah, there's a lot less of me now, thanks to that ice though. My knees hurt. Shigaraki, damn, I'm disappearing really quick. Whoa, is this for real? You really did multiply. So this is the first time Shigaraki is seeing the clones upon clones of Twice. Yeah. Just yes, everywhere. Just 100 Twices yelling in unison. Hopefully now I can be useful to you, leader. That's all Twice wanted to be. He wanted to be useful. And useful he shall be. No matter how many times you multiply, you are all fated to become sacrifices for our second coming. And we got more of the citizens marching forward, and we got a line of Twices raring to go. Eek! Sacrifices? Now you're going all occult on us. Talk about creepy. Color me impressed, Twice. Do you think you can carve a path to the tower for us while you are at it? I love seeing Shigaraki impressed, but also him just caring so much about the other members of the League. It's so nice to see.
Come on. Do you really think I'm that heartless? I'd never underestimate their strength.
They said before that the boss and Giran are up there, up at the tower. Of course, that could have been a lie. But one thing's for sure, the closer we get, the more enemies there are. They're clearly trying to protect the tower. Exactly. Shigaraki is using that video game logic. Obviously, we need to keep some fodder alive for Makia. But leaving that aside, we're gonna be the ones to kill the boss. We will kill him real good. Shigaraki is like, leave the fodder for everyone else, leave it for Makia, but the head, leave that for us. Leave that for me. I want to enjoy killing Redestro. I'm looking forward to that fight, honestly. Leader, I'll rock you to sleep, so why don't you have yourself a rest? Twice is like, yes, sir, I read you loud and clear. I'm on it. Yup, and then just the army of Twices barreling through the Liberation Army. Just leave it to the me's. We'll tear the Liberation Army a new one. All right, I'll take these guys out of my way. Ouch. Hang tight, Giran. I'm coming for you. Yo. And you can even see some of the Twices popping up on top of the roofs of the buildings as well. So they're even going after the ones on top of the buildings. Man, Twice is really being the MVP. And then more shocked faces from Spinner. I think Twice can handle this on his own at this point. Nah, he likes Giran too much. Toying with people's hearts like that, I won't forgive you. Liberation Army, And I love that facial shot of Shigaraki right there. Just the look in his eye. He looks crazy. The League of Villains and their leader. It is unacceptable that we have let them do as they please for this long. Oh, so we got Hanabata, the political leader, the motivational speaker, the hype man of the Liberation Army, the politician. I forgot about him. People are not weak. Everyone has their own strength. What we are seeking to demonstrate in this Second Coming Festival is you, the people, using their superpowers to strike down evil. We have the power to win back our lives. And then giving the salute. You shall demolish our honored guests, the League of Villains. Now, liberate yourselves, gather your power, and together let us pave the way to a new era. We shall prove it to the world. Everyone is a hero, and therefore no one is a hero. And then just hype them up real good. The citizens are raring to go, just screaming, yeah! But he just went full Syndrome with that dialogue right there. Everyone is a hero, and therefore no one is a hero.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
I mean, that's kind of true, because if the citizens can take matters into their own hands, what's the point of having pro-heroes in this society anymore when just normal, regular, everyday people can use their quirks to protect themselves? It would just destroy hero society at that point. The rest is up to you, me. All of a sudden, and you see Spinner just dodging out of the way as the Twice army clashes with the Liberation Army. That guy's name was Hanabata, right? Every time he gives a speech, the people become more energized. What do? I can't let Shigaraki get any more exhausted. It kind of makes you think, like, what is Hanabata's quirk? Does his quirk allow him just to hype people up, like amp up their aggression or something like that to make them more powerful?
Maybe.
I'm curious on what this man's quirk is. But Spinner is trying to figure out what he is supposed to do next. My duty is, well. Yo, double page spread. A Twice clone got into the building, and he is about to square up against Redestro. We're about to see what Redestro is made of.
It's about to go down.
It's about damn time.
Fight!
But where did Skeptic go? Because he went down an elevator. It could have been a different elevator. You're that asshole founder who destroyed our home, I presume. I gotta say, that hairline is something else. Bringing back the fact that everybody seems to make fun of Redestro's hairline. So you're not just an asshole founder, you're a bald asshole founder. Oh, how rude of me. And then Giran turns around. Ubaigawara! You know, Miyashita's humor was much more witty. And then that birthmark on his forehead is starting to move around his eyes. He finally made it there. End of chapter 231. We better be getting this next chapter. I want to see Clone Twice versus Redestro. I want to know what his quirk is. I want to see how powerful he is, and who else on the league could square up against him, because if no one else can, then it's up to Gigantomachia. But damn, this right here was an excellent chapter and is building up to some good stuff and is hinting at some crazy things that could happen in future chapters. Hawks carrying around a duffel bag, the fact that Best Jeanist is missing due to a disturbance, the sidekicks aren't talking to the media. It's hinting at the fact that Hawks did something to Best Jeanist, but I don't think that is the case. I have a feeling something else is at play here, but this is all a plan so that way Hawks could actually win over the League of Villains. I am very excited to see how Hawks, his plan will unfold, and what his fate's going to be, because this is not going to end good for Hawks. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 231 of My Hero Academia. But now, I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on what went down in this chapter. Preferably everything that happened with Hawks. That is what I really want to know about. What is Hawks' plan to win over the League of Villains? What did he do with Best Jeanist? Did he kill him? Is there something else at play here? And what is in that duffel bag? I really want to know your guys' thoughts, but also going into next chapter, how hyped are you to finally see Redestro in action? Will we see his quirk? What will we learn about him? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you guys have not already, and click that bell icon. I would love to have you guys along with me for the journey as I react to every MHA chapter. But also, if you guys want to talk more outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So until next week, when we have chapter 232 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus ultra.